Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca Kelly and you're listening to the Everywhere We Go podcast. On this week's episode, I sit down with Stacy O'Shaughnessy. Stacy is a ball of nerves, a very private person, so it took a lot for her to sit with me. We talk about growing up in Coolock, the suicide of her brother, hiding her teen pregnancy and the death of her beloved nanny. Stacy laughs with her nerves as she tells me about finding out that her nanny had cancer and the years after gripped with anxiety that cancer was going to get her too. So when pregnant with her third child, she discovers some abnormalities in her breast. She fears for the worst, and then to have her worst nightmares confirmed with a diagnosis of inflammatory breast cancer. A rushed inducement to start treatment, she puts her full trust in her doctors and is simply too busy to have cancer. You can't feel sorry for Stacy. She simply won't let you. She is an inspiration, a warrior, and determined to win the battle to live for her children and Stephen. Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are and where we come from. So who are you and where do you come from?
I'm Stacy O'Shaughnessy and I'm originally from Mobile Court.
Hi Stacy.
Hi.
A little bit nervous?
Yeah.
We'll be grand. Don't be worrying. Tell me about growing up.
So I grew up in Mobile Court, but I was originally from Darnell. And then I moved to England with my mum, my dad, my brothers. Then we moved back. Actually, sorry, we didn't move back. Me and my brothers moved back to my mum and my dad stayed in England. And we moved to Mobile Court then.
How many brothers have you got?
3.
And then you said that about your dad staying in the UK, so you're still in touch with your dad's family here?
Yeah, very close to all them. They live in Greencastle, so I used to go from them to my ma's house.
And with his mum, was it?
His ma, many sisters my dad got? 5 sisters, my granddad. Yeah, so I was always over there as well.
And what kind of childhood was it?
In the court, so it would have been just my ma and us, so it was a bit, we were all mad, like, in fairness.
It's mad because the courts, I'm from the courts.
Yeah.
And I never ever knew you were from the courts. And I don't remember you from the courts. Now there is 8 years between us, but so you were from the top end, and the court's not even big. Like the courts,
it's 3 courts up.
Yeah, like do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm not.
I didn't know you either.
Yeah,
I knew your ma.
Yeah,
I never that.
So you're a troublemaker?
Yeah. No, I was actually very good. Just had to stand up for myself in the court.
Well, the court is a place that you have to stand up for yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. When we were living in Mobile Court, my brother actually committed suicide. So my ma decided that she didn't want to live there anymore.
How old was he?
16. But he moved to England, so he done it in England.
So
my ma didn't like living in courts anymore because his friends used to hang around outside the front of the house. So it was too much for her now looking at them and all. So then we got out of there because she couldn't deal.
And what age did he go over to England?
About 15. Now we don't know why he done it. He went over, just like teenager, troubled, you know. Went to see my dad. Sorry, he went to see my dad, yeah. And then he done it over there.
But like, what kind of young fella was he?
Mad. Funny. No, he's very good. Soft. Well, what I remember, I was only like 12.
Yeah.
He would have been like, because my dad lived in England, he would have been like, he did grounded us, minded us. Do you know what I mean? Done everything. So.
What was his name?
Shane. Everyone knows him from the courts. They'll all remember him because he was mad. He had loads of friends. He hung around with everyone around it. Like everyone knows him, but like with me, they wouldn't really know. Like some of them wouldn't know me, but not everyone.
And what was that like for you as a 12-year-old?
Horrible.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, no, I remember getting told and everything, yeah.
Do you?
I was told it was a car crash. And then I found out about 6 months later, someone told me that he'd done it on the street.
God.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Well, obviously, you know, people
No, I still remember the day and all. I was sitting in my nanny's house. My dad actually rang the phone. I was like, I answered the phone to my dad. So when you hear your dad, I was like, oh, my dad, like whatever. And he's like, put your nanny on the phone. But I knew it straight away there's something wrong. Then my aunties were all in the house within 5 minutes. They were actually being nice to me. Gillian, she'll kill me. She was like being extra nice. And I was like, why is she being so nice to me? Because they had to be told on the phone, yeah. They all ran out.
And who told you? Who told you?
My nanny and my auntie Tanya. Told me it was a car crash. So I actually, when they said it to me, they were like, Shane was in an accident. I was like, the effing need you. What happened to him? And then they were like, he's dead. And I was like, what the fuck? You know? When you're 12, you're like, I didn't know. Like, I mean, I didn't know I did, but it was horrible.
And then, did he come home for the funeral? Did they bring him home, or?
He died the 2nd of December. I think it was, I don't know what date, but just before Christmas, he brought him home, yeah.
And then you were told, but you have to understand, and I'm sure as a mother now you do understand that they were only trying to protect you by telling you that it was a car crash.
One of the kids told me, someone younger than me, I was like, the neck.
So then how do you deal with that? Do you go back into your nanny and say, or do you go back into your ma?
No, I went into my ma. Yeah, I said it to my ma, but she wasn't in the right place, you know what I mean? Like she was gone when that happened to him for a good few years. Not gone, you know, like mentally.
Yeah, just not there.
No. Because then I think I went to kind of stay with my nannies a lot more then.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
And were you angry that they lied to you, or were you just like...
No, I think I would have rather just hear it off them. Wouldn't be nice hearing out on the street. No, you're a kid, like.
Yeah.
We were out playing. I think I was fighting with someone. He's like, yeah, whatever, your brother done whatever you done. And I was like, what? And we didn't. They were all laughing, like. And the person that said it to me, I talk to him now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because obviously he was just
He's only a child.
Yeah.
And I'm very forgiving. I don't really hold
grudges.
No, never. Went to school. I would have had a good childhood, like, with my nanny. Do you know what I mean? My brothers were mad, so I went from my ma's to my nanny's. Then eventually my mum moved to Greenwood. We're down there. I think I kind of moved into my nanny's then because I hung around in Coolock.
Yeah. So you were in Coolock then a lot?
Yeah, that's where I hung around. Now, I only had one friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Nicola. She was my best friend. We were two shadows going around. The two of us just hung around. And we kind of drifted. But we always made a deal. If I ever had a baby, she'd be the godmother and I'd be the godmother. And even though we weren't friends, like, not that we weren't friends, we were. I got pregnant at 16 and I knocked up to her. And I was telling her, like, I'm pregnant. Do you want to be the godmother? That's how childish I was. And she was 14. She was like, yeah, all right, grand, no bother. Don't think me mum even knew I was pregnant. I was telling her to be the godmother, yeah.
So what was that like?
Oh, terrifying.
Was it?
Oh, God. I still feel sick thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah. I was terrified. Terrified of me nanny.
So is that how you had to break it to?
I didn't tell anyone twice. I didn't tell anyone. Did you not? No. The letter got sent to my ma's address.
What letter? Okay.
From the rotunda.
Right. Take a breath. Take a step back.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what happened. So
I was 15, hanging around Coolock with my other friends, met a fella. He was actually just my friend, had no interest, like just mates. Got together. He was younger than me. I think he's like 9 months younger than me. Got together, kids. We were together a year. Then I got pregnant, hadn't a clue. Gobshites, like. Then, so what was that?
And then how do you go, okay, I'm going to go in, what do I do? Do I go to my doctor? Do I go to the...
I don't think I went anywhere for about 4 months.
Really?
Nowhere. I didn't go anywhere. I think I just hoped that it'd go away.
Really?
Yeah, I was about 5 months, and I remember saying, right, you know, I'm going to have to do something.
Hey.
And I went to the doctor. Can't even remember, to be honest. I probably went to the doctor. And then I went into the rotunda. No, sorry, I'm lying. The doctor sent a letter to the rotunda. Then they sent a letter for the scan. Then my ma got the letter. Obviously, was like, what the hell is this? She actually hid it from me for a few days because she didn't want to believe it. And she said she kept looking at me because I had the big green uniform. So I was able to hide it. And she was looking at me and she was asking me, like, have you any pads, anything? Like, and I'd be like, yeah, in the press, hand them to her. Like, what was I doing? Like, and then she said, she just wanted, oh no, my cousin actually came to the house. My ma rang her and my cousin was whispering to me, she knows. And I was like, what do you mean? What? She knows what? She knows you're pregnant. I was like, no. She keeps, yeah. And then I was like, right, ma, I am. And she's like, how long are you gone? But my ma said, Stace, the minute I said it, the bump just popped out.
Really?
Yeah, 6 months. But now I hit it, like, and I went in, like, before scan, I think I was 6.5 months. Yeah.
What'd your nanny say?
Disgusted.
Was she?
Yeah. Not disgusted, just...
disappointed?
Yeah, because I didn't tell her then. I think I actually hid from her for a couple of weeks. I was terrified of her. Not terrified, you know. Always respect for her. Like,
she's your nanny, you respect, yeah.
Yeah, and I went over and just like, easy. Do you know what I mean? Like, because they would have warned me.
Yeah.
They would have been very protective.
Aunties, all your aunties as well.
Very
like,
protective, yeah. I was a little wagon. But at the time, my auntie, who was really good to me growing up, my Auntie Tanya, she was pregnant as well. And I actually forgot to say that, yeah, so she was pregnant. And she pulled me to the house and broke to me that she was pregnant, but she was more like thinking that I was going to be bothered, like not bothered, upset.
Yeah.
Because me and her were so close.
Yeah.
So I'd be jealous or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's telling me, and I'm sitting there 5 months pregnant, and she was like 3 months pregnant. Do you get me? And
she was like, Stacey, I'm having something to tell you, I'm pregnant and you can be the godmother. And I'm sitting there like a brazen little shit. Just like, all right, yeah, didn't tell her. She took it very bad now as well because she basically reared me.
Yeah.
So the two of us were pregnant together. As you can tell, we didn't, like, none of us really talked for a while. Not that we didn't talk, we were just disgusted, you know what I mean?
It's just, it's the disappointment in that they want better for you and they feel that you're not going to get.
And I didn't realise that till I got older.
Yeah, of course.
Now I'm looking back, I'm like, oh my God. But I turned out alright. So I was in work, I always walked, stayed in school, done my leaving cert, went to work, done courses.
So tell me.
Never kind of.
Well, Brandon's the oldest, is it?
Yeah.
So we went into labour on Brandon, what was that like at 16?
Yeah, my waters broke, went in. Was terrified, yeah. Went. Actually, I wanted my ma with me.
Did you?
Yeah, I wouldn't let us die. I was like, you're not coming in.
Yeah.
He was only 15.
Jesus.
Was he oh, sorry, I'm lying. 16. So I was like, no, he's not coming in. So brought my ma in. Had him. I actually cried, I think, for a whole day after I had him.
Yeah.
But then from then on, I just took on the mammy role. I was a proper little ma. I put his name down, had him in the creche. I was going to school. I was going to work on the weekends. That was mine, though. Like, I just kind of grew up, straight away. But my ma always says, and my dad, thank God you did have him. He changed. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think you would have went off the rails if you didn't have him?
I don't know. Probably not.
You think you'd always end up being...
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't answer that. I haven't a clue. Depends, because I didn't get to go out. So when I had him, like, I had him. No one else had him.
Yeah.
Like, my ma was like, that's your baby. So, like, I'd be in the black car, we'd always laugh about it and be like 11 o'clock and my ma would be like, you be home by 12. I'd be like, Cinderella, like, I have to go. I'd be sitting there, and if I wasn't home by like 12:30, 1 o'clock, she'd be on the phone. Go home now. I never went to a house party around in my life. Wouldn't have been allowed. Should have got in the taxi and came up and killed me. No, so it was never, like, I probably went out probably every second Saturday. Had to be home at 1 o'clock. Then we broke up then when Brandon was 1.5.
Just wasn't going anywhere, wasn't it?
No, we were only kids. So we broke up. But then I got with Stephen. But he had a 1-year-old.
Right.
And I had a 1.5-year-old, and we got together, yeah. It was just after his 24th, then we proper got together. And then he moved in with me then a few months after that. And then Eva came. He had a daughter, Eva. So I was introduced to her. He was introduced to Brandon. But like, we were together nearly 2 years before we introduced the kids.
And was that hard adjusting to Stephen coming along and then Eva coming along?
No, I just took on.
Did you?
Yeah. Now, she would have came over probably on the weekends. And then as she got older, like, I'd be ringing them for her.
And then take me back then to your nanny, when your nanny got sick. How old were you when she got sick?
I can't remember how old I was, but I think I was about, the first time she got sick, I could have been about 12. And it's gas. The story behind it is, I knew there was something wrong with her because I was sitting on the path and she says, I'm going to get my hair done. And I was like, all right, Nanny, grand. She came back with a wig on. And I'm just looking at her like, she's a wig on. Like, that's a wig to myself. Like, no, actually not to myself. My friend was in the garden. I was like, look, oh, she's a wig on her.
Yeah.
Like, she thinks I'm stupid. Like, that was grand. Said nothing. Then we were going away then to Trabolgan, and I had to share a room with my nanny and my cousin. But I never forget it. I laughed my nerves. Oh, I'm terrible. And she called us into the room. She's like, I need to tell you something. And we're sitting there. Now, I already knew, like, she's like, this is the wig. And I was like, kind of thought that, yeah. So I'm just, And she's like, she took it off. But I burst out laughing. Like, crying, laughing, uncontrollable. And she's smacking me, like, giving me clatters and all this day. You get alive. But I was laughing at my nerves, not laughing because of that. So that's how I kind of found out. So then, I think she got the all clear. So she wouldn't be the one to talk about it.
Right.
She'd have never.
And did you know what it was?
I knew she had breast cancer, but she'd never. She wouldn't dwell on it. She was always down, doing her shopping. She'd be hoovering. You weren't allowed to do nothing for her. Do you know what I mean? She's very independent, like. So then, I think then when I had Brandon, it came back.
Right.
So, what was I then? About 17 then when I had him, it came back. That's when she got really sick. But when I actually had him, so I was living with my nanny's when I was pregnant, and I had to move back to my ma's house. Then, obviously, my nanny was real sick, but we didn't know. She didn't tell anyone.
Right.
I don't even know if she told her. The other kids I never asked. Did they know? And then I remember going up to her to see her one day. I remember going up to see her one day, and she was saying to me, like, I'm proud of you.
Take your time.
I hate talking about it.
You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Take your time. Take your time.
I'm just laughing.
Take your time.
Yeah, so she was like, I'm proud of you, and because I was still in school. Did I do my leaving cert by then? Yes, I did my leaving cert. I was walking in Tesco.
While you have Brandon.
Oh, while I had Brandon, yeah. So I was doing everything. And she was kind of like, so she was delighted, and she was like, oh, I'm happy. But she was in bed, and I was saying to her, like, when are you going to get out of here, Nanny? And she's like, oh, I don't know, but the next day she
died.
Yeah. But I hate her.
Do you think she obviously knew then that
she knew I was alright, yeah.
She knew that you were alright. Yeah, she knew you were going to be alright. Come here.
No, because before that she was terrified. Everyone was always saying to me, she always wanted, like, hope that I'd be.
Your word.
No, because when I got pregnant, like, she was, do you know what I mean, thinking the worst. And then she was sick while I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So obviously she was terrified.
And
but that day I'll never forget when she was there, and she was like, oh, I'm so proud. And I was like, what is she saying? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and she's like, the fella, like, Brandon's dad's lovely, and like, she liked him because he is a nice fella, like, he's a good fella, like, you know what I mean? Be soft, like. And yeah, so actually I didn't know. They rang me the next day and they're like, yeah, Nanny's in hospital, she's dying. And I was like, what do you mean she's dying? They're like, she only has a while to live. And I was like, what do you mean? I never forget that day. I was sitting in my friend's house and I jumped up. I don't know, I think I actually left the baby in the crash and all. I don't even know what happened, to be honest. I just ran up to the hospital. Don't even remember who got the baby for me or ran.
She was in Beaumont, was she?
No, matter. Got the bus up, ran up that road. I'll never forget, sprinting up, sweating. But when I got in, my uncle says to me, like, she's gone. And I was like, oh my God. But as I opened the door, she started breathing again.
Okay.
And then I went over and held her hand. She died while I was holding her hand, yeah. We were real close.
And that was your dad's ma, wasn't it?
It's mad, isn't it?
Because it could have, you know, when a family separate, you know, the fact that you kind of stayed so close then to your nanny is like...
Yeah, very close to them. She was good to all of us, like. Yeah, so she was 61, I think, when she first got, which was so good, though. My life was over when she died. It's like, because she, like, I would have told her everything. Like, I wrecked her head with everything. And she was who would go to the talk and get advice from me.
What was it like then when you got sick then?
See, I was terrified of cancer. Oh my God. No, like, Stephen used to, like, be saying to me, you give over, we'd go past, remember when you first built in Beaumont?
Yeah.
What's that called? Luke's, I was in it. Yeah. I can't even remember the name. So every time we go past there, I used to always say, oh God, Stephen, me nerves for ever going in there. Like, oh God, imagine having to go in there. And he'd be like, oh, shut up, you. And then...
And that was from your nanny being sick, do you think that's why?
I was terrified.
And it's mad because the fact that
I lived with her, like,
you lived with her and she had it, but she didn't tell you how sick she was as well.
No, but I was terrified. It was my worst fear.
Was it?
Oh yeah. I always thought, anyone that knows me probably say that's what she used to talk about. Like, not that I talk about, I'd always say, oh God, imagine I got that, or I hope I don't get that. But I actually didn't think I'd really get it. Do you get me? I was just like hoping.
You would?
Like, yeah, like I was just kind of like, hope I don't. But Stephen used to always be giving out to me, saying like, cop on to yourself, whatever, you're not going to get it. And I'd be like, oh God. But it was when I got a bit older and I started noticing a good few people dying from breast cancer. Like people that I didn't know from the area, and do you know, like hearing young mothers dying. And I'd be like, oh God, palpitations, like. And there was a girl, I know there was one of Brandon's friends, Ma died. I think she was only like 36, and then another one of his friends, Ma died. I think she was like 39. And like I'd be going like, oh God, imagine if that happened to me. And I take it on very bad. Like when I heard someone died from that young, like I probably wouldn't sleep for about 3 days, like really? Thinking about it, yeah. Terrified of it. So then, so in between all that I had another baby. Stephen. He's 5. So I was with Stephen 9 years probably before I had him. Brandon was 10 when he was born. No, sorry, 9 when he was born. Yeah. And so I had him. I was working and all, yeah, well I had him, went back to work. Just normal, like just whatever. And then when he was 2.5, when he was 2.5? Yeah, wait, let me think. Yeah, he was about 2.5. And then Stephen's daughter Eva decided to come and live with us. Right. So then I had from 1 child to 3 kids. So that was a bit mad. So she came to live with us. And then while she was in the middle of moving in with us, I found out I was pregnant again. But I didn't know until I was about 12 weeks, hadn't a clue. Grand, Stephen had a breakdown. Didn't take it well, that one. Neither did I. I was like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Here we go. I was traumatised, but sure, look. I was like, what's another child? We already have 3. And got pregnant on him. That pregnancy was so different. Like, first of all, I didn't know.
Right.
For like, probably, to everyone else, probably doesn't seem like long, but I found out when I was 12 weeks. To me, that's kind of long.
Yeah.
I thought. Then I actually thought I was at the miscarrying him. And I thought we were going into the hospital for nothing to be there, but there was a baby just bouncing around. And that was grand. What happened then? Yeah, so I was pregnant. Grand. I noticed I didn't feel well the whole pregnancy. Just didn't feel right. Me left chest, boob, whatever you want to call it, was all like swollen, and I was like, oh God, I don't know what's wrong, but I left it. I don't go to doctors. I don't, like, I'm real like that. And left it. Then I went to Spain with the kids and Stephen, came back and was real sore, and I was like, right, I have to go to the doctor. I thought it was just milk or something. And I was like, right, I'm going to the doctor. Didn't even tell them I was going to the doctor, I don't think. And the doctor sent me straight to Beaumont, but I didn't get an appointment for a week.
And how long were you gone?
At that point, that was August. No, it wasn't. It was August when I went to the doctor, and I think I was waiting a week or 2. Then it was September when I went to the hospital. And they says, oh, no one even knew I was going to the hospital. So, like, I didn't really, like, my friends or something probably Snapchatted them when I was in the little robe or something, saying, hi, I'm in the hospital, whatever. Went to the hospital. The doctor checked me over, sent me down for scans straight away, didn't think anything. Then he sent me for biopsies. I hadn't a clue, like, I didn't know what a biopsy was. Like, I was so naive, like, anyone else probably would have been screaming, like, and I was like, yeah, grand, went, got the treating. Went back up, sent me in for another scan on the same day, still had no clue what was going on.
And this is all around your breast?
On one of them, on the left one, yeah. And I was pregnant at the time. I was at me now doing hair, actually. I was doing all the Deb's hair that day. I actually wasn't going to go for my appointment because I was running behind with the hair, and I was saying to a woman in the house, I'm not even going to go to that appointment, like, it's only a bit of milk, it'll be grand. And a woman says to me, you're going. The girl who's here, and I was like, right, grand, so I went. So then when I came home, I was at me doing hair all day, in the hospital all day, getting biopsies, hadn't a clue. Walked into the house, carnage in the house. Stephen fight with the kids, 3 kids that's fighting, all the usual. I come in, I'm starting screaming at them, you know, just giving out. Went to bed. Then it was that was the Wednesday. Then on a Friday, early morning, I was going to the creche. Had Stephen on my hip, bring him into the creche. My phone rings to the hospital, and they're like, hey, Stacey, and are you able to talk? I was like, yeah, grand, yeah, no. And they're like, are you free at 11, half 11 to come in? I'll never forget that phone call. I was like, yeah, grand, no bother. And they're like, where are you now? And I was like, I'm at home. Wasn't at home. I was like, outside the creche with a baby on my hip, no, and you're trying to hold the phone, like, like, it's because you want to know what they're saying. And she's like, okay. She says, will you come in at half 11 and we just want to have a little talk to you and blah blah and let you know what's going on. I says, yeah, grand, no bother. And as I went to hang up, she just goes, and will you make sure you have somebody with you? Well, hysterical. I don't cry. I mean, I knew. I just knew. Sobbing my heart out. Didn't make a show of myself. To me, I made a show of myself. I walked into the creche. Now I walk into that creche every day, and I'd be always happy and smiling and delighted dropping the child off. And I know all the girls, so I walked in. They were all looking at me crying. They were like, what is wrong with you? I don't know, I just went blank. I'm screaming, crying. I was like, I have cancer. And they're like, how do you know you have cancer? I was like, I know I do. And they were like, what do you mean? And they were like, what? And I was like, I do. And they were like, calm down. So I can't even remember who took the child. They brought me into the office. I'm ringing Steve and screaming down the phone. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I have it. I know I do. She told me to bring someone. He was like, it could be anything. You're pregnant. Like, maybe it's something else. And the girl was like, here, you're going to have to come and get her. She can't drive. She's in an awful state. So then I walked out and I was like, Anna, cop on to yourself. No, after I was kind of calm, I was like, no, you're overreacting. Then Stephen pulled up, puts me in the car, and he's like, what did you say? And I told him, and he's like, no, would you give over? It's only milk. Went into his nanny's house, but I knew. Like, I just knew. And his nanny's talked to me, I'm just looking at her. Just looking straight past her, I don't know what she said, haven't a clue. Left. Then I actually rang my friend, and I was like telling her, and she was like, you give over, will you? I was like, I'm telling you now, and I'm screaming, like crying down the phone. She's like, cop on yourself. So we walk into hospital. By this time walking into hospital, I was really calm. I was out there getting all out my chest, so they're great. It is what it is. Went in. they were talking to me around normal to bring me into this little room. And I'm looking around, just like, cancer. I was like, here we go. But at this stage, I wasn't crying. I was just like, right, let's see what it is. So we're sitting there, and your mum was like, we found a tumour. And Stephen, I never forget me, he was like, is it cancerous? I was like, obviously. Like in my head, like, of course it is. And your mum was like, yeah. And Stephen was like, do you know what size it is? I wasn't talking, I was just sitting there. And your mum was like, to be honest, it's a very rare type of breast cancer. And it's not where you get like a little lump. I didn't have a lump. My whole breast swelled out.
Right.
Cancer cells all through it. So I had like skin cancer, lymph nodes, breast, like everywhere. So he was like, we're not gonna, he was like basically saying the treatment and everything. He's like, but we can't do anything until you have the baby.
So what treatment was he saying?
Chemo, radiation, remove, mastectomy, all that kind of stuff. But they couldn't do anything because I was pregnant. So they were like, we actually can't tell you what we're doing until we know exactly what you have, because they couldn't scan me.
Yeah.
Because I was pregnant. So I was like, right, grand. So I was sitting there. And what did he say? Oh, he was like, right, you're gonna have to have the baby. How many weeks? Like, when you're due? And I was like, 6 weeks or something, 6 or 7 weeks. So I said, I'm due. And he's like, right, grand. He's like, how would you say, like, what weight are you not? Weight are babies? And I was like, 7 something. And he was like, right, grand. He says, well, I'm gonna ring up the rotunda and see, can they get you in to have the baby early? But I thought he meant like in 3 weeks or something. He rang them that day to get me in for the Monday or something. Yeah. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, we're going to have to get you in because you need to be scanned. I was like, right, grand. At this stage, I was at the being sobbing, so I was really calm. And then they rang me on the Monday, like, can't get you into the following Friday, till the Friday.
And then, hang on.
Oh, it was madness.
Yeah. So,
Stephen's hysterical at this stage.
Yeah.
Stephen's uncontrollable. He was gone. He was like, he was sobbing. He was like me at the crash. So he was like...
Because everything's flashing through his mind.
Yeah. He was like... I never seen him upset in my life. I've never seen him sad on that day. And then I'm rubbing his back saying, yeah, right, you okay, it'd be grand. Like,
yeah.
Even though I hadn't a clue what was going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he was sobbing. I was like, right, what are we going to do? So then...
So you go home that week. Do you go home and then do you tell people? Do you not tell people?
Do you know what's gas? I was meant to do my cousin's hair. It was me, Auntie Gillian's baby's christening on the Saturday.
Right.
And I used to do all the hairs.
Yeah.
I was more worried about not being able to do their hair. Like, that's the type of person I am. I was like, oh God, I can't do their hair. How am I going to tell them? Steve was like, are you for real? Like, you really can't do their hair. Like, and I was like, yeah, but like, right, okay, we're going to have to knock with Jim. So I knocked into my ma. My ma's a warrior as it is, so I told her. She's hysterical. I was like, I can't listen to this crying. I have to go. I think I was with her 5 minutes and she's screaming down like at me. Then I said, I'm dropping into my Auntie Gillian and tell her now that I can't do the hairs. So I went in, I was like, Gillian, blah, 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 can't do the hairs. And she was like, oh, no way. And with that, I burst out crying. Stephen's out on the fan, telling her she's crying, I'm crying, my other auntie was there, she's crying, we're all crying. And I was like,
so he didn't even go into the house with
No,
you?
he sat in the car. He couldn't. He was uncontrollable. He was like a ghost. It was weird. It was just so weird. Like, I should have went home and just had a cup of tea or something. Went down to my ma's house and then I went to my auntie's house because it was on the way. And then I went home. Actually, I was meant to be in New York that week. Was it New York or Vegas? I don't know. Can't remember. We were booked to go somewhere that week, but then I found out I was pregnant, so we couldn't go. But Stephen's man is that we're over there.
Yeah.
So we did. I don't think they told them, but anyway, I went home. Phone started tapping because, as you know, everyone.
Yeah.
I can't really remember that day, to be honest with you. Can't remember the Saturday either. And then on the Sunday, because they were bringing me into the hospital early, my cousins decided to show me a baby shower. Yeah, they were like, she has nothing in for the baby, so like, we're gonna have a baby shower, but it was a surprise one, right?
Right.
I wasn't with it, like.
Right. What was she thinking? She just trying to be, I know.
I don't know, my cousins, I don't know. There was a few of them, I think, and they were like, but she's nothing in for the baby.
Right.
And blah, 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 and I was like, I didn't know, it was a surprise, so I didn't know. So on the Sunday then, they were like, do you want to come down here? And I was kind of like, right, all right. So I went down, my whole family's there. I was like, oh my God, like, I put the big, if you look at the photos, you wouldn't even know I was at to find out that, like, I'm look happy. That just shows like how people can act all happy in all the photos. I looked really happy, but I was traumatised. Then on the Monday they rang me, they were like, right, in to have the baby on Friday. Can't remember any that week now, to be honest with you.
It's just a blank.
No. I remember the baby shower because there's photos.
And were you sitting out there playing?
Loads of people, nobody knew. My friends now were there and they had no clue.
And you're playing normal?
Yeah.
And this
When I
is a great
think
day.
back now, I felt sick. I wasn't there, like I was flown. Yeah. I was there in the body. My mind was somewhere, I don't know, it was gone. So then I went in, had him on the Friday.
What was that like?
Traumatic.
Section, was it?
No, I actually had him. They just induced me.
Did they?
Yeah, he was 6, I think he was 6'10" or something. Whereas if I had went them whole, he probably would have been £10. He was huge.
And was that traumatic? Was it really traumatic?
Yeah, I think I blocked out because I can't remember.
You can't remember?
No. I can't. Like, I remember going in, getting induced. What else happened? He took ages to come. Stephen actually was asleep when he came out. Stephen was asleep on the floor.
Was he?
Yeah, actually the girl, the nurse,
Midwife?
she was at the being telling us that her ma, because she obviously knew, her ma had it 3 times. And she was like, she's grand, like she had it the first time, say 20 years ago.
Does that help?
Yeah.
People telling you
Yeah, but
stories?
she was still alive. I was like, is she alive?
Right.
Is she okay? Is she alive? Yeah, is she alive? And she's like, yeah, she got it when I was a teenager. And look at me now, I'm in my 20s. I was like, grand, right, grand. But I still didn't know if I had spread or not.
Right.
So I didn't know whether I was going to live or die, like, do you know what I mean? So I was like, just get the baby out. I was horrible, like, because then when the baby was born, like, I was just kind of like, right, but there's the baby, so am I going to be all right? Do you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't, what would you say? Like, you couldn't be happy that you had a baby.
Okay.
Do you know the way you're like, the baby? Like, I wasn't
You
even,
couldn't celebrate the baby.
no. So then on the Monday, so I had him on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday then, I had to go into the hospital for a meeting.
You had to go to, where did you go? So you were in the
Beaumont.
so you had to go to Beaumont.
Yeah, so I don't.
And were you just straight out of the hospital
Straight
after
out.
having...
The Sunday, I think, and I'm lying. They left me for the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then I had to go in on the Tuesday for my appointments. I don't know who had the baby. Can't remember. Couldn't tell you.
And did you name him?
Rogan.
And did you have that name in your head? And
No, I
did you-
had Logan,
Right.
but then there was too many Logans.
Right.
I called him Rogan. I named him and all, yeah, like, it was grand. Actually, while I was in the hospital having him, it's very funny, there was a girl facing me and she was getting a section. A woman, like, and she was raw and crying about the section and this and that. She's sobbing her heart out. And I was going over to her and I was helping her and blah, blah. I was giving her a baby. And I was like, yeah, you'll be grand. Blah, yapping. So then I'm sitting there and the doctor comes in and was like, oh, we see you have to be released early. You have to go for blah, blah, blah. And we're saying about the breast cancer. Well, her face dropped. She's looking at me across the bed. I was like, yeah, grand, because I could see it in her. She was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. So the doctor went, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, you're in pain. I'm not, I'm grand, I can help. And she's like, oh my God, she's raw and crying. I was like, it's grand. And she's like, it's not grand. And I was like, it is. Like, way, will it? Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean like that.
Yeah.
I was like, way.
Yeah.
But that was grand. So I went into the hospital on the Tuesday, got the scans, all the body scans and all, and I was terrified. Oh my God, I actually don't even know how I went in there and got them scans.
Really?
Yeah, and everyone was like,
Terrified
did you take a Xanax? Did you take a relax? I was like, no, I just went in my senses. I was like, I don't need that. Like, I was
Yeah.
just,
Terrified of what?
in case I was terminal. Because I didn't know.
So you were terrified of the outcome, not the physical scans, or
No, I was terrified of what it was like.
what the results were going to be.
So I knew I had breast cancer. But they had said to me, we don't, the one that I read is called inflammatory
Right.
breast cancer.
Okay.
And it's very rare. And they were like, don't Google it. But Stephen was going around like a corpse because he Googled it. But he didn't tell me.
Right.
The outcome is you're going to die.
Okay.
It's always stage 4.
Right.
But the doctor said to me, sometimes it's not. And they were saying to me, there's treatments that'll keep you alive for years and all this. And I was like, right, grand. But Stephen had Googled it. So he's going around like a corpse. So when I went in, he thought, like, Johnny just gone or whatever. But then the scans came. The doctor says to me, I remember walking into the room and the doctor was like, we'll ring you tomorrow. But otherwise, come in on Thursday for your normal chemo, which you'd get if you only had breast cancer. But if you do have it anywhere else, we'll ring you tomorrow and we'll bring you in for a different plan because you can't get the same chemos or something.
Right.
I don't know. So I just said to him, you won't be ringing me tomorrow, so I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
And he was like, what do you mean? We could ring. I said, you're not going to ring me tomorrow. I said, that's nowhere else. I said, I'm grand. So I walked out the door. Then that was grand. Then on the Thursday then, he didn't ring me now, I was shaking. till the toe. Oh God, I was sick to my stomach. I was actually wrong crying. Like, I was crying and crying and crying because I was like, oh God, what if I die? What if I die? Like, I was in an awful state.
And your emotions and your
As all over the
hormones
place.
with a baby,
Yeah.
and then this on top of it.
Yeah, I was traumatised.
And then your anxiety from your nanny as well. That
Yeah, thinking.
your fear, your worst nightmares come true.
And then I do the 3 kids. Like, Brandon's a different dad, Eva's a different ma, Stephen, like everything. And I was saying, like, they'll have, like, do you know what I mean? The whole family will be ripped apart. That's all I kept thinking about.
Is that what you were thinking about?
That's all I kept thinking about. I was like, who's going to take me kids? Who's going to take me kids? Like, I was in an awful state over that.
Were you?
Oh, that was what, if they were 18, 19, 20, like, older, I wouldn't have took it that bad. But even I was laughing, because I do say to Stephen, you know the way, like, I know it's a stupid thing to say, only a teen just said, if I died, imagine me fella getting another board, like, who do you end up with? That wasn't the case. I was thinking, he's going to be in the pub locked, who's going to have me kids? Not locked, but, you know, traumatised, he's going to be gone. Yeah. And I just kept saying, the kids. And then, but Steve was like, no, nothing will happen. But on the Thursday when I went in, your mum was like, so it's in the lymph nodes, it's in your breast. We're going to have to remove your breast, but we're going to have to chemo first. Usually it's removal, then chemo or something.
Okay.
But I had to get chemo because it was so big, so they had to shrink it. He's like, so start that. But it was real funny when he said that. I walked out of the room and I rang me ma, and I was like, Ma, and she's like, what? I was like, it didn't spread, and I was like screaming on the phone, excited, and she goes, what do you mean, so you don't have cancer? I said, no, I do. I said, but I'm gonna live.
Oh,
she was like, I thought you didn't have it. I thought you made a mistake. And then I rang my friend and I was like, it didn't spread. And she was like, so she said the same. She's like, what do you mean? So you're all right, like? And I was like, no, I'm still gonna like lose everything, like, but I'm gonna live, like, I'm not gonna die. She was like, are you for real? I thought you were gonna tell me that was nothing wrong with you. And I was
So
like,
where did you think it spread to?
I didn't think that spread. I was kind of like,
Like in your head, were you thinking it's spreading?
yeah, because inflammatory, it's meant, your man said it's like a flame, so it just spreads really fast.
Right.
So when I say I found out on the Friday, I had to go, I think it was a week. Right, no, sorry, it was like 10 days before I could get the scans.
Yeah.
Then it would have been 2 weeks before I could get chemo. So I was thinking, in them 2 weeks, where's it going to go? Do you get me? And I never Googled it until I was finished chemo, finished everything. Then I Googled it, and I had a breakdown when I Googled it.
Did you?
Yeah. Rob and crying. Seems like, right, now you give up. And I was like, oh my God, I could have died. He's like, but you didn't, but you're not. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I like, look at this. But I'm lucky I didn't Google it because I would have been dead.
And
I think I'd have died.
They told you then it was in the breast and the lymph nodes, and you knew that's where it was. So you were like, okay, it hasn't gone any further than what it was. So then the plan is chemo and a mastectomy.
And radiation.
Yeah. And at 29 years of age, how did you feel about that?
To be honest, in them 2 weeks where I thought I was going to die, because I did, like, not because I didn't know whether I was going to die. So when I knew that I wasn't, I just wanted the chemo. I wanted it, and I wanted to get removed.
You're like, take them off.
Take everything, take the lot. Went in. Like, even all the doctors, like, every time I went in, they were like, one of the nurse, not because you have a nurse, and she used to always say, I don't think it's hit you yesterday. I don't think. And then they would follow me, she's like, still hasn't really hit you, has it? And I was like, no, it has. I'm grand. Like, I'm gonna live. Like, yeah, that's grand. But I didn't think. I just kept thinking when it's over. I just wanted it over. Do you get me?
So how many weeks of chemo did you have?
20.
And what was that like?
So the first week, so the Thursday, it was like a red, I don't know the name of them. People know the name. I didn't. I just got it. Yeah, give me that. A red like thing. My hair fell out after about a week and a half.
What was that like?
I didn't mind. I know it's mad now. Now I think people thought like I was gonna be, because my hair was real long.
And you're a hairdresser?
Yeah, but it didn't bother me at all. Didn't care. I cut her up into like a bob first, and then Stephen actually shaved for me then, because it was falling out in lumps.
Was it?
Yeah. Now I thought to myself, but I always have it tied up. I mean, I wouldn't be one for like. No, I did like my hair, like, but I wouldn't be. And I used to always say, I need to get that cut. I need to cut that off. That has to come off. Sick of looking at that. And Stephen was like, gotcha, I wish, didn't you? I was like, yeah. But no, that was grand. That all came out in about 2 weeks. They were actually very worried about me losing my hair.
Were they?
Yeah. Because when I went in, they were like, the side effects, and they were like, your hair and this and that. And I was like, yeah, that's grand. And they were like, because you're so young, we've been removing your like breast. And I was like, oh yeah, grand. And they were kind of like, what's up with her? Like, and I was like, I don't care. Didn't mean it like, not like that. I was like, I have kids at home.
And that's all you want to do is get home
to get better. Just didn't care. Like, so then what happened then? My dad used to come over then. My dad actually moved back from England a few years before that. I forgot to tell you that. So he used to come over and cook for me, make me dinner. Stephen's ma used to come in every morning and take the baby, Stephen, 2.5-year-old, and bring to the creche. Then my friend and my auntie used to take the baby then Thursday night. Take turns, take him every Thursday, and I'd get him back Friday, because that was the day she got your chemo, it was Thursday. Because I'd be up in the hospital, he'd be up there for hours.
What is it like in the room getting chemo? There's others around you, is there? And what is it like looking at them people?
Like, some of them are grand. Like, some of them are all in high spirits now, in fairness. There was none. I'd never say that I'd see someone like upset or sad. Everyone was sitting there yapping. It was like you're just sitting there having a coffee. Really? Yeah, it was weird. No one, like, I can't even think of anyone that was giving out around. I think everyone was just happy to be there getting it. Now, obviously, there was probably some people that were really sick, but the scary thing is no one really looked sick. Really? No. Like, you wouldn't look and say, oh God, look at them. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was like, I don't know, like, they'd have their wigs on, be dressed up. Do you know what I mean? There was a woman I met there and she used to always say, I dress myself coming here because just to feel good, like, you know, so it's not real. And then I used to wear bright colours. I never wore a black around. I used to always wear like pink or purple or yellow or something just so that I didn't, do you know what I mean? 'Cause I was like, I don't want to feel doom and gloom.
Were you one of the youngest in the room?
No. Really? No. I remember one day there was a little girl, not a little girl, she could have been about 20. And her hair like was real long but was a wig and she had a thing. But I remember feeling sorry for her, and then there was a fella, could have been about 18, 19 coming in. So I wasn't the worst one there, like I don't mean the youngest. But
it's mad that you said you felt sorry for them.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I feel sorry for everyone, even the older people. Because a few people that I met there died as well. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I always feel sorry for everyone. That's my problem. That's what's wrong with me. Yeah, like I met people there. Some of them died.
And is it that they just stopped coming and you realised, how does it work?
No, one of them was a neighbour from the courts. She'd been up there. She died. Then there was another woman, Mary, actually, she was up there and she used to try and help me, but she was dying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually was at her funeral, like our family, I got to know them from being in there. And then there was other people then that just never came back. Do you know what I mean?
Were you angry?
No.
Never angry?
No. Steve was. Was not me. No. I don't know why I wasn't angry. Weird.
Why was Stephen angry?
I don't know. I think he just took it worse than me. He just kept saying, why you? And I was like, because it happened, get over it. Like, it's just, that's it. I'm not going to sit here dwelling. If I'd have sat there dwelling on it, I think I'd have been dead.
He probably had fear though as well that he was going to be...
On his own.
On his own.
Yeah. With all the kids. He would know. No. I was like, I'm going nowhere.
He was the kids and explain to the kids like that Mammy's not here. Or...
Yeah. Yeah, see, he wouldn't really talk about it. Like, we'd know by him, like, he was fuming. Like,
was he?
Oh my God. Like, everything. Like, everyone used to say to me, he looks sick. Is he all right? I'd be like, I don't know. Like,
he's never talked about it, did you?
Not really. See, he's like, no. He gave up the drink and all. He didn't drink for about a year or nothing.
Didn't he?
No. He was meant to go to... Where was he meant to go? Like Prague or something for his 40th. He didn't go.
And a wedding as well he didn't go to, was he?
Didn't go to the wedding in Rome. But I'd be saying to him, oh, Willie, I'm grand. See, people scared the life out of us. They're like, when you get chemo, you're real sick. You're not going to be able to leave the house. Like, you're bed bound. Like, my dad turned around to one day and was like, I'm going to get you a rocking chair at your window. I said, if you dare get me a rocking chair, I'll put you through the window. He had me dead and buried, like, sitting on the rocking chair. I was like, will you give over?
And what was it like?
I done knife faints, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what was it like? You had to do chemo and then do knife faints?
I couldn't really sleep during the chemo, so I kind of... And Stephen was working full time. The baby never slept.
Did he not?
No, never slept. Didn't sleep. I think he's on sleep about 8 months or something. The last 8 months. He's, 2.5 now. He didn't sleep. Then Stephen used to be getting up doing knife faints and going to work.
Right.
But I couldn't sleep anyway. Whatever the chemo done to you, I was just wide awake, so I used to do it with the baby awake all night. He done it as well, like, but the two of us done it.
You couldn't breastfeed, obviously.
No, I never did.
No, did I. And then you're having the chemo, and does the breast start to shrink?
Yeah, it shrunk.
Right.
After the first one.
Did it?
Yeah. So when I went in then for my final scans, they were like, right, it's all gone. It was basically gone. Like, there was a few other little bits, and then...
And did you feel it, like, physically your boob going back to normal, or?
No, I could just see it in the mirror. No, your tops.
Yeah.
Just feel it going down. It's weird. How long was it? That was for 20 weeks, and then they leave you No, they don't leave you. Yeah, they did. I think I finished the chemo in the February. The week later, I was 30.
Did you have a tortured?
Yeah.
Did
I celebrated having my boobs for the last time that day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because then I was in for my operation then on the 2nd of March. My birthday was the 15th of February. And I wore like a real low cut dress and the boobs and the red wig and all.
Did you?
I was like, right, these are the last time I'm going to have a photo with this. Yeah. And then I had a torture. Didn't have a torture. I went to the Cock and Bull with my friends.
And then tell me then, you have the chemo, everything's settling in, it's in your head, you know exactly where you're standing. At that point then, are you like, God, could they save me breasts? Or are you like,
No.
You were like, no.
No, they told me they couldn't save them. No.
Couldn't save them,
No.
no.
I won them. They left them.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
What's that process like?
when they're removing it.
Yeah.
Oh, they go in.
Did they reconstruct it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only there in September, August. Gone.
Okay.
Very quick.
So not at the time they don't reconstruct it, do they?
No, because of the type that mine was.
Oh, God.
You have to make sure I had radiation. Then you have to leave it for a year to make sure nothing, because it grows really fast, to make sure nothing was to come back. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And I'm not allowed to have implants or anything like that.
Right.
So they took it. I actually got a mini tummy tuck in the middle of it.
Did you?
Yeah, at the end of it all, it was great.
Did you really?
Yeah. So I got new boobs and I got a tummy tuck.
And did you do that yourself? Like, did you have to get the... or did
No,
hospital-
they made they reconstructed with my stomach, like with the baby fat.
Okay, you need to tell me that.
Right.
So, go back to the removal first, the mastectomy.
So I was 30 then on the Saturday, the 15th of February, and then on the 2nd of March, I went in for the mastectomy. They removed everything, like I was literally it was like a little in, and then they had to remove all the lymph nodes, all of them. He actually said I didn't have many. I think I only had like 8 or something.
Right.
Some people have 20.
Okay.
And I was like, what do you mean I only have 8? I was terrified, and he was like, no. I was like, oh, did you remove them all? And he was like, yeah, because I thought he said I only removed 8.
Right.
Because I was like, take them all out.
Yeah.
Don't want any of them. So we removed them all. Then after that, what happened? That was 2nd of March.
So how do you feel the first time you look in the mirror at yourself?
I wouldn't look for months.
Would you know?
No. Not until I was getting the radiation, when I kind of had to put cream on me. Not that I didn't look. I don't like sores. I don't like blood. So that to me had been... Ugh. It wasn't about me, like my body. It was about like...
Yeah.
Disgusting. Do you know what I mean? Like just to look at the scar and the blood and all.
And then Stephen, did you show Stephen?
Yeah, I actually got him to take photos of it.
Did you?
Because they say you should, for the scar line, to make sure it's not coming back around. You should have like photos, but I didn't look when he was taking photos on his phone. And then I think when I was going in for the radiation, then I was like, right, I think I started that in the May. Then I kind of looked.
Did you feel different? Like, did you feel...
I felt I was baldy, I was no boob, I was like, here, what the hell? At that point I was kind of like, hey, now what's going on? This is getting a bit heavy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, but I still didn't cry or anything. I was just like, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? I knew, but for something I knew that I'd be alright though at the end. Do you know what I mean? So I was kind of like, right, just get me there.
Did you ever have dark days?
At the beginning.
Did you?
No, only in like the first 2 weeks. Then when they said that I hadn't spread it, like I was like, right, grand. I think in them 2 weeks that I didn't know, I thought I was gonna die. Honestly, I was like, right, the way they were talking to me, I was like, oh God, like they're probably gonna give me a year here. But then when he told me you can remove it and everything, they're like, we'll get you to the 5 years, what's that called? Remission or something, like all that. I was like, yeah, grand. I'm trying to think, did I have anything in between? No, like.
So then, yeah.
No, it was weird. It was traumatic. Like maybe I was just floating. Do you know what I mean? I was just.
Have you ever had counselling?
Me?
From it?
Oh, from that, no. Probably in a few years. Still kind of fresh. Not fresh, like the baby. What was it? 2.5 years ago? Was it?
Yeah.
I'll probably will when I'm older. When I'm older. Do you hear me?
You're too busy now.
I'm too busy with the baby now. Yeah.
So then so then they say, okay, you need to have radiation, and that's where you start having a physical look at yourself and going, right.
Yeah. Then I was kind of like, no, but they brought me into a room and they were like, we're gonna fix you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like they were like, we're not gonna leave it like this. So I think they kind of made me comfortable and made me think, right, they're gonna fix it, you know what I mean? And then they were saying to me about your stomach, we'll take that away and you'll be smaller there and we'll put it there and you'll be perfect and your hair will grow back. So, do you know what I mean? It was kind of like, I knew that they were going to fix me up. So I didn't really...
What was it like the first time touching it?
Oh God, it was horrible.
Was
I
it?
still don't like touching it.
Do you know?
No. Even now, like, I won't lie, when I'm in the shower and I'll only have to, like, still a bit like...
Are you?
Yeah. I think everyone's kind of like that anyway, aren't they? And then my friend, I do say to my friend sometimes, like the odd time I'd say, like, I am terrified in case it came back. But my friend's like, yeah, you're terrified, but we're all afraid in case we ever got it. Because it's not that it's more common, but you're hearing more of it, I think.
And then you have radiation.
Yeah, that was in the May.
And what happens? What's the difference between radiation and chemo, do you know?
Radiation's like a beam, like you're just lying down. You can't feel it, but you're born, like, showing.
Right.
But I didn't, because I kept using this aloe vera cream, even though they told me I wasn't allowed to use it. Still used it.
Did you?
And I didn't burn.
Yeah.
Now I'm marked, like, but I'm not. I didn't burn. So I got that. That was grand. That was in, like, St. Luke's. So you're in there. You're, like, in and out. You're just lying on the bed. Do you know what I mean? They tattoo you and all that. During that Eva's confirmation I was on, one of the days I had to go from the church over to the St. Luke's right across the road. Yeah.
Because you just have to live your life as well. You have a baby and as well you've got
I didn't have
kids.
time to do anything.
And at any point were the nurses and all saying, Stacey, you need to slow down?
Yeah. All the time. They were kind of like, right, are you alright? Like, I think they were waiting for me to have a breakdown.
Were they?
And then even like, when was it? When was I up with them? Before Christmas I was up with them and the girls were just looking at me like, did you ever have that breakdown? I was like, no, not yet. No. I don't know how I haven't. Don't have time. Maybe when the kids were all reared and all, I'll probably have a breakdown.
And then, yeah, probably. And then at what point after the radiation did they have the conversation with you that they say, okay?
That wasn't, so I got the radiation, that was going on for ages. Can't even remember how many weeks, but that's for a few weeks. So it's every day for 6 weeks, I think.
Right.
Every day. And I lived right beside the place, so it was grand. Every day for 6 weeks. So that was May, June, July. And then they say to you, right, from a year from now, we can look at you for reconstruction. So in that year, just getting checkups, everything. But it was before the radiation, then they tell you you're cancer free.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. So when did that happen?
That was a week after the operation.
Really?
To get the mastectomy. So they tell you you're cancer free, but you still need radiation to make sure that it's proper gone. And then you've just appointments then every couple of weeks, and then the following year then they rang me and they were like, we've a spot there for you. Like, it was only about 15 months and I had the reconstruction.
And in that year, are you not looking at your physical self?
I wouldn't look at myself.
Would you not?
No. Like, I wouldn't stand in the mirror and be like looking. I think I was afraid. I think if I had I probably would have been like, oh God. Actually I did. No, I did. One of the days I got out of the shower and I was looking at it, I was like, this, like, yeah. But I knew they were going to fix it.
So that was your whole thing?
Yeah, they kept telling me we were going to fix it, and they did, like.
And are you having
perfect.
a social life and you're going out with, and you're getting dressed?
No, because then coronavirus came.
But before it, no. You weren't going out or you weren't?
Yeah, I was going out, but I wouldn't have been wearing local tops around.
Yeah.
Like, I'd had me, didn't even wear that going out, I don't think. Like, I didn't use it. Used to hurt, no rubbing off the radiation.
Yeah.
Like, where you got the radiation, yeah, it's very sore.
So you just didn't bother?
Didn't bother wearing it, no. I think when I went out, do you know what I actually used to do? I used to get, do you know the little things in your bras? The little padded things. I used to get like 4 of them.
Right.
4 different bras and stick them all together and put them in.
Right.
Because that other thing was like too heavy. It's like, not using that. Yeah.
And then you went in then to have, so that was, when was that you went in to have the operation then, the reconstruction?
That was only August gone.
Really?
Yeah, that was a year later. So it's only been 2.5 years. So the first few months, it's chemo.
Yeah.
So from September to February. Then March, it's the operation. Then you have to heal. Then May was the radiation up until May, June, near July. I think me and Steve went away then. And then July, August. And then it was like September, Brandon and Rogan's birthday. Then Christmas came. And then, then I think coronavirus came.
Yeah.
And then during all that then, the virus or whatever it's called, I got they rang me. I was actually in shock. They rang me that they'll do the reconstruction. Yeah.
And did you go in there with a plan? Were you like, I want a torch 2 double D, I want a perky, nothing like that?
No. I went in and he says to me, so what you want? I was like, I don't know, do what you want. And he's like, but like what you want us to do. And he was actually going to do them big. And I was like, oh God, no. And he's like, but they were big kind before. So, and I was like, no. I was like, I want them small. I want something really small. And he's like, how about a C? I was like, yeah, all right then.
Both of them they did?
No, they were meant to do both of them. But they didn't have time, so that was too long. I think it took them about 7 hours. Yeah.
And you said that at the start, like, but like you had a mini tummy tuck. So they took the skin from your tummy.
Yeah, all the baby fat and made me boob out of it. Yeah.
Did you feel fabulous after?
Yeah, but now we're locked up. I can't even get dressed up or do one. I mean, how long am I locked up now? So I was pregnant, then this, then the virus, 3 years or something locked up. Dying. I said by the time I get out of here, I'll be long again.
And then, like, so when you wake up and you've got the new boobs.
Now I'm getting this one fixed as well.
Right.
I'm waiting for that one. They're gonna fix that one to match it to the new one. And he's gonna take fat from my hips and put there, or whatever they're called.
And are you going, like, when after that operation and you heal, because it is a healing process. I had a breast reduction.
Right.
So, like, there is a healing process, like, yeah, is there?
No, we said the next one that I go in is just in and out in a day. Whereas this one, the reconstruction now, is in an awful state for weeks.
Were you?
Yeah. Because, like, I don't really look into it. Like, whatever they tell me, I just kind of do.
Right.
I mean, I trust them. So I'm like, right, you just do what you have to do, and I'm just going to be like, whatever. And he was like, right, be in bits. So I was in bits. That was in the August. I don't think I was kind of all right till around the end of September.
Really?
Yeah. About 6 weeks. Couldn't walk. You're hunched over. And then your chest, so imagine. Chest heavy, your stomach. Yeah. But it was grand. Now, like, it feels like I just feel normal again.
Do you?
Yeah. My hair's going back. Have the bill back. I'm skinnier stomach. Kids are all doing my head in. Back to normal life, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What else?
And when you have the operation, like, are you dying to show Stephen? Are you showing friends? Are you?
Yeah, I show all my friends, yeah.
Do you?
I'd be like, look, my stomach.
Showed me boobs. Yeah.
Yeah. My boob. I'm like, they're going to fix that one next. Have to lift this one up and pump it out a bit to match them. Now your man said he's gone to your managing, but the doctor said he'll do that this year. But I'm trying to think.
Does it do that? Do you think that lockdown has helped so that it doesn't really do that to your confidence that you wouldn't have been going out around?
Yeah, definitely. Because I haven't been anywhere. No one's been out. So I'm not missing out on it.
Yeah.
Whereas we can't go away. I don't think I'd have went away.
Do you know?
No. Not with like this. I definitely wouldn't have went away like swimming with one boob, like. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't. The lockdown was probably good in that way.
Yeah.
If I was probably out every Saturday and we're all out, I probably would have been a lot worse. Do you mean like dresses and tops and trying to do ourselves up? So in a way, it's probably a good thing that like that. No, it's not.
I know.
Coronavirus is not a good thing.
I know. No, I know, but in
good for me. Everyone's locked up with me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's a terrible thing to say, isn't it?
No, but I know where you're coming from. For your peace of mind and your own headspace, that it could have been a very different situation.
Yeah, it could have been, yeah. Because me hair, like, it's not even that. Looking back on pictures, I thought when I was going all through all that, I was thinking, I was grand, but I'm looking back now, I'm like, holy God, like a different person. Not that I should really care about that, but I was like, oh my God, like, just
in what
so
way?
Different. Just, it wasn't me.
Physical appearance?
Yeah, I thought I looked alright, but I didn't look alright. Like a picture popped up on my Snapchat the other day, I had no eyebrows and no eyelashes. I had like a blonde wig on. And in me in that Snapchat, I thought I looked alright, like, at the time. But I just didn't look right at all. Looking back, it's weird.
And how were people with you?
I wouldn't let anyone kind of come near me.
Would you know?
No. Didn't want anyone, like, not that I didn't want people near me. That was the other thing, actually. Everyone was trying to help. Too much help. And I was like, no, I want to keep it as normal as possible. So I kind of told everyone, just leave me with the couple of people that I have, not in a bad way, because I felt if people, like, no one would ever be in my house all the time. So then I was thinking, if everyone starts coming in, it's making it feel real. So I wanted everything as normal as possible.
So in your mind, are you like, this is a 2-year blip and then I'm back on?
Yeah.
That's what you're
That's what I done. I was like, right, 2 years. I went through it, so I knew all the dates. Like, I knew the chemo would finish. I knew in February I'd get the yoke. I knew. So I just kept thinking, I just kept saying now. Do you know what I mean? I was actually visualising myself with new boobs, with the flat stomach and my hair back long. That's all I just kept saying. And even now, sometimes I look in the mirror, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you done it, do you? Because I can see myself come back to looking normal again. That's what you call it. Do you know what I mean?
And you said there that you look back and you're like, that wasn't me.
No.
I wasn't that person. So do you think that you're going to, not that they're saying to break down, but you think that what's what I'm trying to say there? Maybe you should look to have counselling so that you don't have that massive breakdown.
Yeah. Yeah. There's never one for like, I'd have always been really positive with anything. Like everything, like. And like even years ago, I remember the school used to try and send me to counsellors, and I was like, I'm not talking to her, because I hate talking about things. I think when you talk about them, it makes you worse. In my head, like I feel worse. But then I'm like, does it? I don't know, because it never happened. When you're really talking about something, getting into it, I'd be like, oh God, no, just forget about it. It's over. Do you get me?
Yeah.
I'm real like that. I'm real like, forget about it. I don't dwell on the past. I'm terrible for, like, not that I'm terrible. I wouldn't be like, oh God, remember that. Like even now, I know I don't talk about it to anyone. Like my friends, no one. Not that we wouldn't talk about it. We'd probably mention something, but they'd never be like, oh, remember that, or how'd you feel? Now it's just like, right, Stacey's back here, she is, like, she's grand. Do you know what I mean? Whereas not everyone's like that.
No,
definitely not.
No.
My mad is always like Stacy, or because me mad be more, what would you call it? She's always saying to me, you're real positive, you're real strong. How are you like that? I'm like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And then I have friends that are like, how the hell did you, like, how are you like that? I'm like, I don't know. It's just, I think I'm like me nanny. She was the same. Like, I know she died, like, but she was very positive.
It's mad because throughout every story I've done in a podcast, I've talked about someone who's either passed or still around. And it's where, it's a realisation that that's where you get it from. You get it from that strength or that person. One thing we talked about off mic earlier on, because it has taken a lot for you to come and sit here with me.
Yeah, I don't talk to no one.
Yeah, it's taken a lot of conversations and conversations outside me and you, and me saying, do you think Stacey will sit down with me? Do you think, you know? And so there was lots of different things going on. But your big thing is that you don't want people to feel sorry for you.
No, definitely not.
Why?
Because the way I see it, right, this is what I think. There's babies out there with cancer. 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. They haven't even lived yet and they're dying. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'd feel sorry more for, like, them or their mas. No, like, things like that. Whereas I was like, I'm a woman, I'm 29, after having 29 years. I'm alive, I'm here, I'm not gone. Not going anywhere, so there's no, do you know what I mean? Just don't feel sorry for me, like. Obviously, I wouldn't want, like, not like not feel sorry for me. I don't like pity. Like, poor Stacey, like, poor nothing. I'm grand, like. I'm alive. Pity me when I'm dead. Ash is dead. Like, I don't feel like that. But there's worse cases to me. Do you know what I mean? A lot worse. Like, and then I kept saying to Stephen, at least it's not one of the kids. Because one of the kids, that's, do you know what I mean? Them pity me. Because I haven't been picked up off the floor. You know yourself you're going to be alright. But when it's something like, do you know what I mean? Don't know what I'm trying to say, but
you're saying exactly what you're saying. I absolutely
Do you get it?
I 100% get what you're saying.
I kept thinking, it's not one of the babies, not the baby, no, like, you know, like when it's someone else, when you're looking at someone that's sick, you can't help them, you don't know what to do. I think that's worse. Whereas when it's you know, like, what you're doing, you know yourself, like, you're going to be alright. And I knew I was going to be alright from the day they said it didn't spread. I was like, right, I'm going to be grand. And I don't dwell on that, and I do know in my heart and soul, I just tell myself, like, I'm grand, like, I'm never going to get that again. Because I don't dwell on it. I'm not afraid of it anymore, the way I used to be.
Are you not afraid of it?
No, I've done it.
That's a huge revelation.
Not afraid of it.
That's a huge thing.
I was terrified. But now I'm like, oh God, no. Even when I go past St. Luke's now, and you know what I say? Because of them I'm alive. This is great. Whereas before I'd be like, oh God, I don't want to go in there. Imagine going in there and being sick and all. You know what I mean? And even when I see people that are sick now, I'm like, just keep telling yourself you're going to be alright. Just, do you know what I mean?
And do you fear it coming back? Obviously, no, you just said no, you don't.
No, it's not that I fear it, but if I get a pain now, I never went to the doctor in real life. My doctor didn't see me from the time I was a child. Now when I get a pain, I'm like, go and get yourself, like, not checked, but you know, I'm cautious now. I'm like, right, I have to get a checkup. But I wouldn't physically like lie in bed at night thinking, oh God, what if it comes back? I wouldn't cry myself to sleep. I wouldn't be a worrier. I don't take nervous tablets. I don't take anything. I'm just like, it is what it is. I'm not afraid anymore. Whereas before I'd have been terrified. Then it came.
And then tell me, did you have a conversation with Eva and Brandon at the time, like, or?
Yeah, do you know what? I wasn't going to tell them. But how old were they? 12? Both of them are 12. So I was
so
like...
it's history repeating itself with your nanny and you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was, oh yeah, Jesus, yeah. Oh God, don't tell me that. Yeah, it is. Except I'm not going to die. I mean, I was 69.
No. It's like a history in that sense.
Yeah. See me taking tear, I am being all anxious. No.
Yeah.
No, I had to tell them. Because like, my nanny didn't tell me, and then I knew. They didn't know straight away. Like, do you know what I mean? Our hair's gone. The kids were grand.
Are they?
Brandon, what was he? See, 2 of his friends' mas had died from it. So he took it a little bit worse.
His initial fear was my ma's going to die.
Yeah, but he didn't say it. You could tell by him, he was like stuck to me hip, still is. The size, he was about 6 foot and he just be in the bed beside me, will not leave me alone, wrecks me head, does me, like he's drives me mad, but he's stuck to me. And Eva, she was more, I think she's more upset because my hair had to get cut off. She was traumatised, she was wrong crying when my hair got cut. Sobbing when my hair got cut. No, with our teenagers, I think they knew, like I went on normal. So they went on normal, they were still bald, they were still little shits, Brandon was still getting in trouble in school, nothing changed. Do you know what I mean? I still treat them the same. You know, like, so it wasn't like I was sitting in the bed crying. There was no drama, like there's no stress. We were all just normal. You know what I mean? He was going to school, coming home. My dad was making dinners.
How good was it to have your dad home doing that for you?
He's very good, yeah. No, he is. He's making the dinners, cleaning the house. He actually just, I could have done things, but he was like, you're doing nothing. And that's the thing about it. I never said that to you. So my dad's ma died from breast cancer. And then, I can't remember how long ago it was, but my dad's girlfriend died from breast cancer too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and he cared for both of them.
Did he?
With both of them, like he'd have been there. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So when it happened to me, like, I think, but he knew I was alright.
How?
I don't know, we just said I was, like, not different, but I was, do you know what I mean? I never really say, he can't talk about it, he's an emotional wreck, he doesn't get one. But he just kind of knew. I don't know, we never really said, he just says, I just knew why you were going to be grand. Because I didn't care, like, not that I didn't care. I was just like, right, I want it over, I want it done, get on with it, you know? And I never cried, like I wouldn't have been in the house crying or sitting in, like he would have never having to help me. Like, do you know what I mean?
But he's your dad, he wouldn't let you do them things.
No, he wouldn't let me do nothing. No. My poor ma took a bad, God love her. She took it worse than me. But then she was alright. I think when I was too strong, so we were like, and that's the thing, anyone that was to come to my house, like Stephen's ma's always crying. She got told, do not cry near her. So I think she cried probably after when I was all better. She was crying like, and she was saying to me like, I was told not to cry around you. I was like, don't. Everyone was warned not to cry around me. Because if they had to start crying, I'd have been crying. Then I would have thought there was something really wrong. I don't know. That's just the way I am. Like,
but it stood to you.
Yeah, it did. See the way, like, anytime I'd be sick, I'd always get up out of bed. I'd never feel sorry for myself for anything, do you know what I mean? I think that's my way of coping with things.
You had to do that to survive.
Yeah. Like, I couldn't have took to the bed. No, people don't really do that anymore, do they? I think it's different. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'd be just like, I hope there's people out there that aren't going through it and thinking, like, how does she do that? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
but this could give someone the strength to get up out of that bed if they are going through it.
Yeah. Hopefully. Because it's worse than they lie in the bed. Don't get me wrong, I think there's 1 or 2 days when I felt real sick. Not sick, like I always get up. My worst fear, they kept telling me I'm going to lose weight and they were weighing me every week and I was like, I'm not losing weight. And even when I felt sick, I stuffed that food down my throat. Yeah, because I was like, and it was gas. It was the first time I ever kind of was like happy to be putting on weight. Isn't that weird? I was
It's so mad.
I wanted to put on weight because I didn't want to look sick. Do you know what I mean? So I was eating loads, not loads, but loads of healthy stuff. I don't know, I just hope that there's people out there that, like, it's not, like, nowadays it's not a death sentence, do you get me? Like, you can live for years and years. And since I found out about me, I'm had to find out, like, about an awful lot of other people that are going through it. But,
What advice now would you give anyone
that's going through it.
that's going through it, or
Just try and, I don't know, try and keep yourself occupied. Oh, don't follow pages to do with cancer.
really?
Oh God, yeah. I went on at the beginning and I followed a few things, and I swear to God, that's when I was crying. Actually, that's the times I'd be reading that someone died or this person died. No, on the Facebook and all, and that'd give you anxiety. Oh my God, yeah. I had to delete everything to do with cancer off all my pages.
Really?
Yeah, because every time I seen something, I'd get a fear. But then, yeah, so there you go. Like, I am anxious about it, so because I don't follow anything to do with cancer. And even when a song comes on or it's on the news, I turn it off.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, out of mind. Keep it away from me.
And
Is that a bad thing? I don't know.
No, I think that's just the way you.
No, at the
handle it.
beginning, I was like following pages, following people that had it, following people that had gone through it just to see. But then I was like, no, this isn't good for me. Looking at this and then going on and seeing like rest in peace to someone, I was like, oh, that's when I kind of panic. I mean, I'm not forgetting all about that, but yeah, a few people like that, like, not that I knew them, but through the Facebook you'd see that they're dying, and I'd be in an awful state crying, like stopping my heart out thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna die, and then I'd be like, no, you're not, cop onto yourself. I was actually fighting, I was like two different people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the advice I'd say is get up out of bed, try and eat, just be normal, just try your best.
And it's okay if you don't.
Yeah, of course. You do have bad days too, but like my bad days, I'd probably be bad for an hour or two, then I'd get into the shower, get up, get down. I didn't have time because the kids be in and out of the room, and I couldn't lie in the bed because they'd be just in with me, with the baby. Like most days, like I think I had chemo, then like the baby's still with me, Stephen was still in work. The baby's still with me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Didn't have him Thursday. He'd be dropped home Friday night. Still have him Saturday and Sunday. So with a newborn baby, I had to do that, make bottles, feed him, dress him. I'm trying to think, did I go out? I can't remember. Yeah, I would have brought him on little walks, and so he just kept me busy, do you know what I mean? I used to just keep saying, do you know what, this is what it's like after you have a baby anyway. You're in bed, you're tired, you're knackered, you're like, you know. He just kept me like going.
And did you get the looks off people when you'd be out with no hair and wheeling the baby?
No, I'd always wear a wig.
Did you?
Yeah. I actually had a few of them. No, I wouldn't. I never went out with my hair like without hair.
And you said that earlier on as well, that you'll never, just never posted picture of you with no hair.
No, I posted one me and the baby, but I cropped the top of my head out
Did you?
so you could just see my face. And it was gas because two of us are bald in it. And that's the only picture I ever posted. And it pops up on my page, like it's popped up twice, but I wouldn't share it now. And then like I think it was last week or the week before, something came up that I was cancer free 2 years, and I wouldn't share it.
Why?
I don't know. I think I just like, just want to forget about it.
Get
I mean,
that.
just
understand that.
forget about it. Don't get me wrong, like if I seen someone that was going through it, I'd sit down with them and I'd gap the ears off them, and I've done it with a few girls. I've met up with a few girls that have been going through it. Do you know what I mean? And I've talked to them, told them to be grand, do you know what I mean? Like, and not that I'd be like, if someone had cancer, I wouldn't be like, oh, get away from me. You know what I mean? I don't, not like that way at all.
Yeah,
like, I'd help them, do everything I can. Like, I gave all my wigs to people that were going through it. I think I had 4 of them. I gave them away to 3 different girls. Met up with a few of them. Hugged some of them that I didn't even know. Do you know what I mean? Talked to them. And then I'd like, still now they'll still text me and be like, thanks like for everything that you've done. But to me, I didn't do anything. Do you know what I mean? I was just talking to them, telling them what I went through. Like, I was asked in the hospital to go and talk to people and help people. And like every now and again they'd say, not now, but they used to ask me, would I meet up with girls in the hospital and talk to them about it? And I was gonna do it. And then I said to myself, you know what, I'm still fresh from it myself. Do you know what I mean? When I probably hit the 5 years. I'm in the hospital every month. Once a month, yeah, I'm always up there.
What are you up for?
Checkups. They have 3 different doctors. And the type that mine was, I don't know, they have to check on it all the time.
And was it the same one that your nanny had?
No.
Really?
No, she just had a lump.
And where did it come from? Do you know? Like, was it hereditary? No one else.
No, they said it's mostly in pregnant women. Because I actually followed a group that have it. And there's only like 150 people in the whole Europe in this group. Girls. There was a girl and she was 19 from Liverpool as well. In the group. And then I think when I seen her, then I said I have to take myself out of it.
Really?
Yeah. And then every day someone was dying. Every day.
Did you ever cry?
I cried when it was all over, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you sit
Relief.
there and cry?
Yeah. I think it was in the shower. Or in the bathroom. No one seen me, like. Stephen probably seen me. Yeah, I think I sobbed because I was happy. More so. Do you know when they said, like, when they told me, I think it's after I got this. Reconstruction. I was like, right, that's it now, like. Do you know what I mean?
And you cried. So that
Yeah.
was probably your out.
And I was sobbing, yeah. What happiness, though. I seen Brandon there a couple of weeks ago and he's out taking a stretch. But when this happened, I know it's only 2.5 years ago, he was tiny. He was only going to first year. And I remember thinking, God, like, what if I don't see him grown? And I kept saying, I hope to see him tall and grown. And when I was looking at him a few weeks ago and I seen him, I kind of cried because, like, I'm seeing it, like, do you get me? I'm watching him grow.
You cry with joy.
Yeah.
What would you say? What do you say to Stephen now? What do you think of Stephen now? Tell me about him.
He's real, like, he stepped up anyway. I'll tell you. Yeah, he gave up drinking, done everything. Even now, he's very worried. He's I know it's mad. He won't leave me with the kids. Like, not leave me with the kids. If he's in war, if he sees me getting stressed now, as you know, we all get stressed. If the kids are around him, he'll kind of take them away. He's terrified of me getting stressed or getting sick again. And he's very, like, he showed that he does love us all. Whereas Stephen's real, what would you say? Doesn't show. He's very, what would you call it? He's just
Like a man.
He's a man,
Some
yeah.
men, yeah.
He wouldn't be loving. He wouldn't be like, I love you and nothing like that. He's just like
A bloke's bloke.
yeah. But when all that happened, like, I just seen a whole different him.
Did you love him even more?
Yeah.
Lost without him.
Yeah. No, he's very good. No, he is. He does everything for us, honestly. Everything. I mind kids and do everything, but he literally would do anything for any of us. He's very emotional now too. Not emotional, but he'd be much more open as well. The two of us were kind of too close, like, what would you call us? We were together, but we weren't, like, we're cold. Not cold.
No, I know.
Trying to be hard, like, I don't need you. I don't need you. And he'd be like, yeah, I don't need you. Now it's like, oh yeah, we need each other. That's it. Do you know what I mean? It's so different now.
And on that note, thank you so much, Stacey, for sitting here with me. You're very good.
You're welcome.
Thanks again.
Thank you.